It's Tuesday. Tuesday is a day for tags, and I've got a tag for you today, the Booktuber Bio Tag. This was created by Jessica's library card, and I was tagged by Kevin Towle at Kevin Towle Reads. I'll link to both their channels in the show notes below. My name is Jim. This is my channel, Books, Reading and Stuff. This is quite a nosy tag. The first prompt is, who are you? Share a little bit about yourself, or as much as you feel comfortable with. Well, I'm Jim. I was born in London many years ago. Now I live in Georgia. I've lived in Georgia for over 15 years, over a quarter of my life, so you can work out how old I am. I teach English. I teach English to Georgians and others like Russian speakers and German speakers. That's me, and I like reading books, and I also like collecting matchbox cars. This is an isogriffo. This was made in about 1971 in England. These are the ones I like collecting. 2. How long have you been on BookTube? 4.5 years. I started booktubing in September 2020 during the pandemic because I was bored and I wanted a creative outlook, and I found there was this wonderful welcoming community who like books like I like books and like reading, so I've been doing this ever since. Prompt 3. What kind of books do you love to read? Has BookTube had an effect on what you read? I like reading all sorts of genres, mostly fiction. My comfort zone reads historical fiction and police procedurals, but BookTube has taken me out of my comfort zone, reading westerns, reading contemporary romance, reading a mammoth this month because it's March of the Mammoths, reading a lot of books I wouldn't have read before I was on BookTube. I am also reading, I used to read one book at a time, now I'm reading 3 or 4 books at the same time. I'm currently reading 2 mammoths, Cryptonomicon, The Magic Mountain by Thomas Mann. I'm also reading a book in Georgian, and I'm reading the anthology, the Garbology anthology put together by Criminoli, who's a booktuber. Prompt 4. What do you enjoy about making BookTube videos? I like it when I have an idea for a video and the planning process about how to present it, how to put it together. 5. What do you not enjoy about making BookTube videos? Well, I'm on a very tight budget. I use free software. You can see here probably the CapCut logo, the watermark. A lot of the features of CapCut Pro I would like to use, but I'm not prepared to pay for that. I don't have a camera. I'm using my tablet for filming. I don't have the equipment I would like to make the videos I would like to make. 6. What video on your channel are you most proud of? Not a single video, but I did a series of alphabet tags back in 2021. From A, I went all the way through to Z. I was quite proud of those, and also the numbers tag which followed. I was also pleased to see the numbers tag went over to the Spanish-speaking booktubers. 7. Is there anything you wish was different about BookTube? No, I'm quite happy with BookTube as it is. 8. Name 3 books that you have reviewed on your channel that you feel represent who you are as a reader. It would be more than 3 books. In 2021, I read over 70 books, and they were all by different authors. But I've chosen 3 books anyway. First was Banri Raj. This is the most recent Charles Dickens novel I've read. most recent in me reading it rather than Charles Dickens writing it. It's not my favourite Dickens novel. My favourite Dickens novel is David Copperfield. But I came to BookTube through Dickens because I was interested in seeing what other people had said about Dickens, and I came across Katie Lumsden's channel, Books and Things, and that got me aware of the whole BookTube phenomena. And I've been reading through all of Dickens' novels. There only remains Nicholas Nickleby of his completed novels, which I haven't read yet. And as I said, I'm in Georgia. I like reading books by Georgian authors like Nato Kipiani in English. This is The Forest of Memories. I don't expect any of you have read this. When I last looked on Goodreads, there was one review, which was the review I put up of this. But it was an interesting book, a weird book. It starts in Japan and goes to Canada, but is written by a Georgian author. And Sarah Paretsky, I like reading crime books. I've read a lot of the V.I. Warshawski books. I've got her latest V.I. Warshawski book, Paida, the 24th. On this month's TBR, this is the 14th, Bodywork. I haven't read all of them, but I have read maybe half of the V.I. Warshawski novels, and I just love the character. I love the stories. I think Sarah Paretsky is a great crime writer. 9. Name 3 booktubers whose content inspires you. I could name a lot more than 3. I'm subscribed to hundreds of booktubers, and I enjoy a lot of their content. But I'll name 3. It's Kelly at Books I'm Not Reading. She's one of the hosts for the Shake-Tember event in September, and she's one of the kindest and warmest booktubers, and she's inspiring me to pick up an Anthony Trollope sometime, because she keeps talking about how much she loves Anthony Trollope's work. Maybe when I finish my Dickens series, I can start looking at Trollope. Margaret Pinard, she's a writer. She writes some great historical fiction books, which I've reviewed on this channel, like The Keening, and she does a lot of live streams talking about various issues like the Climathon. She's very interested in the Climathon. She's one of the hosts of this and talks about books that are related to our changing climate. And Brian at Bookish, who's a very knowledgeable source of all sorts of things about books, and he got me inspired to read Hemingway, because Brian's a big Hemingway fan. 10. Share the love. It can be challenging to find your audience. Name 3 booktubers who you think need more hype. Okay, there's Brian at Adventures in Literature, who has some great content with his bird Casper, talking about all sorts of different books. Melinda at Web of Stories, and Aoife at Pretty Purple Polka Dots. And I went to Aoife's channel when I was trying to dip my toe into the field of contemporary romance, and got some wonderful recommendations there. If you like this tag, if you want to do this, consider yourself tagged. I'm not tagging any people specifically. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. This will help with the YouTube algorithm and spread the BookTube love. And I will see you on the next video. Goodbye.